Yeah, man, my main man GG. My main man GG Gordon GECKO. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna put it out here straight because I like to be very straight into the point. Movie of the year. Movie of the year. Movie of the year. Movie of the year. It's the best film I've seen this year. Bar none, I've seen Daybreakers, seen Kick-Ass, I've seen Book of Eli, I've seen Inception. I've seen quite a few films. Not some not so great. Some a bit. Film of the year. And for me personally, Oscar worthy. Because I doubt that there are many more films that will be better than this one. And seeing that there are 10 films out there for best film, very surprised if this doesn't get an Oscar nomination. But I doubt it will. And I will get to the reasons why this will not be recognized at all this year. To begin with, I want to just have a confession because I remember when I first saw Wall Street, I was a very young lad, a very very young lad, and I found it extremely boring. Like they could have been speaking Japanese and I would have understood it better than what they were saying when I first watched the film, But the image that always stuck in my mind was of the guy with the slicked black hair, and for me, I always knew Michael Douglas because I was used to watch the. Jewel in the Nile and Romancing the Stone with Kathleen Turner and Danny DeVito. So I knew who Michael Douglas was, and he was the only guy I really. I knew Charlie Sheen because I knew Cautious Part 2, but really Michael Douglas, Mikey D, that was the guy that I really knew. So the main image that really stuck in my mind was the guy with the slicked black hair in his office and just being very evil and a very bad man. That's just the image that stuck in my mind. But recently, I think about a year ago, I watched the film again, and I actually found the film quite boring, and I didn't really understand what the guys were saying. I didn't really understand the intricacies of the whole stock thing. I've never rated Charlie Sheen. I always felt that Charlie Sheen he's the guy who he's just chosen. He's just chosen. People just like him, and I've always felt that Emilio Estevez is by far a superior actor to him. If the roles were reversed and Emilio Estevez was in Platoon and in Wall Street, those are automatically better films, fact, because he's just a better actor than Charlie Sheen. So Charlie Sheen, he's a cool guy, and I think he works well in comedy, hence he does really well in Two and a Half Men, Hot Shots Pardon, obviously, and being John Malkovich. Those are, I think, where he excels, but in the more dramatic roles. But when I watched it, I was like, man, greed is good. Just that whole speech that guy made, greed is good, just what Michael Douglas really stood for, and how he was just such a bad man in that. Because remember, man, before this film, people knew Michael Douglas as the guy from Romancing the Stone, the very nice guy, the very go-to guy. So this was a departure from what people were expecting of Michael Douglas. So he did a very good job of convincing guys that he can play this kind of character, and he did it so well. He was just in comic books now, you have all these comic book villains like your Riddlers, your Jokers, your this, your that. But it's actually quite hard to play a very bad man in the money world. And I think that's what Oliver Stone was even saying when I was looking at an interview with him with the whole IMDb anniversary thing, was that there was no film like Wall Street ever before. And there was no there was no kind of villain, especially in the 80s where things were crazy. There's no such thing as a villain within the stock market world. So it was a whole new film and a whole new kind of character that nobody had ever seen before on a silver screen. But yeah, but generally, I found the film that was dramatically very good, but for me, again, I didn't read Charlie Sheen, and I just found the film quite boring. But I thought that it had some good points, and it was very good drama and an amazing performance from yours sincerely, Michael Douglas. But it was still a good film for what it was. Now, the new film coming out, I have saw some things. Guys are saying that there were bad reviews. My dearest sister was saying that, that the film got bad reviews. So I thought, okay, but I mean by the film, because I went to watch this with my sister and a friend. So I thought that, what, I'm just going to go in there with low expectations, So literally, I just thought, okay, I'm just going to be here for Gordon and GECKO. Halfway through the flick, I was like, this isn't actually bad. And again, it was another case of yes, the critics are wrong. The critics are wrong. Go watch the film. It's the best. It is easily one of the best films of this year. I believe it will probably be the best film this year. Yes, Social Network, Facebook movie, okay. True Grit, John Wayne, yep. So okay, there are still films to come out, but still, I still feel that, man. Why I say this film is the best film of the year is its relevance, and I think its relevance is what critics don't like about it, because people talk all this junk, and I don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Remember, half of I say the truth to the core. If it's bad, I'll say it's bad. Don't believe what people are saying. That this is just trying to be a sequel, just trying to use and usurp all of the juices from the original film. I'm telling this to you now. This is hands down a better film than the first film. Hands down. Hands down, it's a better film than the first film. And that doesn't mean that it goes easy with the whole stock thing. Because, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I didn't get about it. But the way it was presented, and I think the director and the presentation of it, and maybe also the script as well, made it easier, not easy, made it easier to understand than the original. It's still difficult, and there's still a lot of technicalities that I didn't get, hence why I want to watch it again, but it is easier to understand than the first film. But yeah, let's now go deep in that. And I think one of the major grievances was, for me, and I don't really even get this, people's hate of Shia LaBeouf, Okay, he's got a bit of some bad taste within him because he's involved with the Bayformers and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull from Mars. So yeah, he's got that bad taste with him. But see, the thing with Shia LaBeouf is that he's like Snipes. Shia LaBeouf, he's a superstar. He's not a great actor. He's not a very good actor, but he's a star. He's got a likable personality and he's got energy. He's got when he's in a scene, he's there. The acting may not be great, but he's there because he just has an energy about him. Hence why Spielberg, he has an eye, so you just know that this guy has an energy about him. And for me, when they made that casting, I said, this is a better casting than Charlie Sheen. That's what actually got me excited, was them putting Shia in the lead role. And in this film, personally, I believe he did a much better role than Charlie Sheen. That doesn't mean he acted great. Again, I will reiterate my point. Shia LaBeouf is not a great actor. I doubt he's going to win any Oscars. But he's a superstar. He's like Snipes. Snipes is not going to win any Oscars, but Snipes is a superstar. But Snipes is on another level of a superstar. But Shia LaBeouf as well, he's a star. And the guy, he did well. He did well, and he really held the film. And because the film was centered around him, and he really drove the film. And I think the good thing about it was that, Oliver Stone could have taken the cheap route and just be like, okay, man, I'm just going to focus on God and GECKO and just use the whole God and GECKO thing. But no, the film really, yes, God and GECKO has a pretty big part in it, but really the heartbeat of this is really between Shia LaBeouf and the Josh Brolin character. I mean, to put it very simply, the story is about God and GECKO. Obviously, at the end of part one, he's coming out of jail, and he's now been released out of jail. Obviously, he's now trying to basically tell his story, and he's trying to. And for me, this is the best part of this film, because this book is really about comparing Wall Street and the stock market and really society through money terms from the 80s where he was operating to now. So that's what God and GECKO is doing. But then we all have another storyline where Shia LaBeouf is obviously working in stock, and he's a young guy, up and coming, but his stock is having the company he's working for is having some problems, because obviously he wants to do some investments in fusion, like with one of the guys who was actually in Oz, I believe, and he almost had life in the streets. He's working for a company, but the company is facing bankruptcy, and pretty much so this is where the Josh Brolin character comes in and pretty much messes up their company, forcing them to sell off the company for a very, very, very low amount, basically making them embarrassing, and then this leads to Shia LaBeouf being angry with what Josh Brolin has done to his company, and then he goes to one of God and GECKO's speeches and he begins to see reason in what God and GECKO says. And to add with that, I mean, this just, because people say, there were too many storylines, but for me, I just loved the amounts of drama and the amounts of, intricate plot lines that were, because to add to that,